All right, all right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Remixing the Narrative podcast, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about tonight's conversation. As you can see, the title of tonight is "Your Tribe Determines Your Vibe," and ending out Women's History Month and ending out our series of some just amazing, dynamic women. I wanted to show you my tribe, and I'm so excited because I believe as we dive into some topics and dive into this conversation, you'll be able to see what I mean by that. I wanted to personally make sure each of them was on here because as we're on here, you'll hear me giving all these beautiful women their flowers because they have definitely contributed to me. But I truly believe that I am who I am because of each woman that's on the screen. And so as we are talking and sharing and like I said, talking about different topics. If you have a question you would want to pose, feel free to do it. We will just be kind of just share just as our journey as women has led us to different places and we've come out of different situations, just things that we have learned. And so I will like for each person to say their name and then we'll just dive right in. So I'm going to start to my immediate right on the screen, which is Jadon. I can't hear you.
Drew, I done messed up already.
You all good?
Hey, y'all, I'm Jadon, also affectionately known as Juice Squared.
Yeah, we're going to share about that story. Yeah, that's Juice Squared. Next, Shamira.
Hi, I'm Shamira. I'm the only one that's in Cleveland, but I love Chicago.
We're going to go below Shamira to Miss Andrews.
Hey, I am Rita Andrews. All right. I got no nickname. I can make it cool.
And next we have Emily.
Hey, Emily, girl.
Hello, everybody. I'm Emily, but that feels just way too official, so I'm just Em.
Hey, Em.
Next we got Miss Shannon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon Styles by Styles. What's good?
And then underneath, last but not least, we have Gose.
Hello, I'm Gose. Happy to be here.
I'm so excited. As you all will learn, I have had, I think on here is a total of at least 20 years of friendship for some on here. Others, we have been friends within the last 5-6 years, but feels like forever. And that's what I wanted to start with as our opening question. Just as you have been in this journey of life, what does friendship mean to you? Like, how has that maybe transformed or changed over the years? Just what does friendship mean to you? Whoever wants to dive in, there's no order.
I could say friendship to me means loyalty and family. Like, I look at you more than just a friend, but you're a family by choice, not by blood.
Yeah,
right. I just want to snap it up to that. I was like, that early in the thing.
Like we need to snap.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Because with family, you almost have to tolerate them. Like, oh, you're my cousin. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You're my sister. I got to give you the benefit of the doubt. But with friends, I choose you. You know, no matter what goes on, it's a choice. You know, so I do like that. It's loyalty.
I also think. Sorry, Tati, did I jump in on you?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say to your point, Jarima, of how long you've known people on the call. I also think friendship is not necessarily determined by length of time. So I'm someone who has had the same friends since I was literally in second grade. And you, Jarima, are one of the newest friends that I have. But when I think about our connection, it actually surpasses any amount of time. And so I think I've learned that recently, right? That it's not just about length of time. It's about quality of connection too.
Yes, quality of connection.
I would say authentic. I have recently, especially in my transition moving back to Cleveland, I have recently noticed what relationships or friendships that I thought were authentic and they weren't. So I think being authentic is my greatest value that I hold to friends.
When I think of, go ahead, Em.
I'm just going to piggyback off of that. Just even in terms of being authentic, a friendship is a place where you can truly be who you are. A friendship allows you to grow into fully being who you are throughout the seasons. So a friendship is also a home, like a place of growth. So it goes along that authentic journey.
I love that. I love what all of you all share. And I love the question about how has it changed over the years, because my viewpoints and definitions on what a friend is, it's changed a lot over the years. And so now I think when I think of what constitutes a friend, I think someone who has chosen to walk on this journey with me. And even if they're only going to walk for a short amount of time, if they were completely in it for that short amount of time, then they were my friend. And so that's why I look at it. If you can walk with me, I think I've had issues with people who like to watch me, but they don't necessarily want to walk with me. And I thought that some of those people were my friends because maybe we were having similar conversations, but then I realized I was doing the majority of the movement. And so nowadays I have to say, I just need you walking with me in some shape, form, or fashion for me to call you a friend.
I love it. I love it. I think just even going in that, I think when I think about friendship, I think that depending on the season that you are in, and like I said, I really this term of like this whole saying your tribe determines your vibe. I believe that in friendship you find out more about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you are able to find more about yourself because you're able to be your full self, right? I think that a lot of times in spaces that we do have relationships in, sometimes we gotta be a little censored, you know what I mean? Or you realize that people who may look at you as a friend, but you're like, I just kind of view you as an acquaintance, you know? And the reason is because of the level of depth you can actually go with them, you know? I can honestly say with each one of you, I found a little bit more of who I am because I don't have to, okay, let me make sure what I say don't hurt their feelings. Let me make sure okay, let me, I know when they call and they really just coming for advice. They don't really want to know what's going on. So I think we have relationships in which we know the role we play, and I think that it's important that I believe in friendship. You should be able to find more of who you are and grow as a person. I think that's what a friendship means. I think if you are not growing and you just kind of in the same space, you got to reevaluate what is that relationship, Yep. So finding who you are, right? And so that leads me to my first thing. I feel like each of you, if we recall kind of like, and this is where I'll do some storytelling.
So I'm gonna bring some tissue because y'all know I'm probably gonna crash. Let me start grabbing the tissue. I'm like a hard thug for real.
But like finding who you are, like finding who you truly are. If I think about each of us when we first met, I believe that we are not the same women we were, and I think that it depends on the season we were in our lives. And so I would love you to kind of speak to who you feel like you are now. Like, have you been able to, or do you feel like you're complete there yet? Do you feel like you're still in that journey? But how has been, or what's like some nuggets you can give to people as far as like finding who you are? Because I truly, believe that we all have evolved.
Man, that's a deep question. We all trying to. In my mind, I'm like, man, do I know who I am? Like,
I think
I'll tell you, and I'll start with like individual people. And maybe we can kind of do it that way. So I can say that when me and Shamira first met, right? And we met at Butler College Prep. We were working together. And I feel like, in some relationships, you just like instantly just know, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be around for a long time. You know what I mean? And
do me that.
But because I think, I don't necessarily go to work thinking I'm going to find my best friends. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to find who I'm supposed to. But, I think just the nature of the way our school was, that was a different mindset. But I just remember when me and Shamira first met, it was just like instant. Like and I'm sure everyone who can attest, Shamira just has this like vibe about her that just like
yes, ma'am,
pulls you in. It's just genuine. She's authentic. And it makes you just be like, man, I want to be a friend to her. Like, I want to know her, you know? And I think what I appreciated most about Shamira is that I love that she was just authentically her. And I was at a place in my life where I actually was just going through my separation. And I was really trying to figure out, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, I, you know, was, you know, kind of going through a thing. And I felt like she had just moved up here. And, you know, we just automatically, we just like the same music. We just like the same things. My son loved her. And I just felt like, man, you know, in this journey of me in a vulnerable place, she felt like a safe place to, you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know how you felt at that time moving here. And since then, you know, as we just see Zaza came in, you know, the evolution. But I just think that is a quality that I always like really admired about her. Like, man, you know, just being authentically you, you know.
Wipe my face. I can tell you. I think what comes to mind when I think about, let me go last because I'm about to cry.
I love you, Tiny.
Is this live?
Yes.
I go last.
Well, I'll piggyback on Shamira just because it's on my mind. So I met Shamira through Jarima because I used to go to Butler's Christmas parties, and nobody could party like teachers. So I want to be where the party is. And so I mean, I didn't even really know Shamira like that, right? I knew her as Jarima's friend. We kind of were cool, but we weren't really keeping in touch. And I got robbed at gunpoint. And when it happened, you know, I was completely traumatized. I wasn't thinking straight about anything. I was scared to come home. I was scared to leave out. And Shamira reached out to me. And she was like, hey, you know, I'm leaving town, but I know what happened to you. If you want, you can come stay at my house while I'm out of town, you know, so that you don't have to be scared at home. And I remember thinking, like, who is this woman? Right? Because I was spiraling when it happened. You know, I didn't know how to make sense of life at that time because, you know, home is a place where you feel safe. And I no longer felt safe going home. And so that pretty much told me all I needed to know about Shamira. And so, yeah, keep that one on the squad, Jarima. We all needed her. The world needs Shamira in their life. And I thank you, Queen, because you did not have to reach out to me in that way. And I really didn't know. A lot of people kept saying, oh, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. And I was anything but okay. And so your way of approaching me in that moment helped me to feel less alone. So thank you.
You're welcome. Sure.
I'm gonna go to Emily. So Emily, and so this will be my way of y'all seeing how I got to build such a beautiful group of women in my life. So me and Emily actually met in college. I was at UIC, and we were actually laughing about this the other day. We were in a African American studies class, and we were like the one of very few African Americans in the class because UIC is very much so a PWI. And we was in class, and we had like this super activist professor. Like, she was so unapologetically Black, and so she did not care that it was like a lecture hall of mostly white people, and she would just go there. And me and Emily, I don't know how we just one day ended up like sitting next to each other in class. Probably because we were like, look, black, let's do it. But we just started talking, and I just remember us talking. And at the time, I think you had just transferred from NIU, and so she was just, you know, we kind of bond that way, and we would go to lunch. And then I was also part of a campus ministry, and so I invited her to come out, and she came out. She's like, man, I actually been looking for, you know, a place to go, and she started coming out, and again, it was like an instant safe space. Like, if anyone who knows Emily, I can be pretty chill in demeanor, but Emily is like a cool breeze, man. Like, she is so peace. And I think that gentleness is what allows you to, again, your guards down. I'm in a new campus. I don't know these folks. But it was just like we had lunch together, we eating together. And then I found ourselves outside of class, really us talking. It wasn't just about class, us just being friends. And I ended up leaving UIC. I didn't graduate from there, and we still stay connected. And I mean, we both were pursuing teaching. We would be at each other's house. I mean, we just have always been close together to the point that just even when I had Trey, she would always be around, and she was so loving. And even, you know, in her share of different things of like health, she just always is a sense of strength. You know what I mean? I think she's someone that I always like. If I'm going through something, I'm gonna call her. We're gonna pray. We're gonna work it out. To the point that when I really started thinking about like who would I want to be like that second role in my life with Trey, it's kind of ironic how it happened. Like Trey and her just became closer and closer to the point I was like, man, like, would you want to be Trey's guy, mom? You know, and then she was like, you know what? Are you sure? I remember I saying that, like, are you sure? Because you know, Emily, she is not trying to have no kids. She's like, I'm the cool auntie. But she's like, yeah. So I'm just so grateful because I believe Emily for me has been like a consistency when it comes to like faith in God. Like if you want to know a woman who's been through some things but don't look like what she's been through, that's Emily. You know what I mean? And yeah, so Emily, you could share.
Okay, Jareen, let's spread these onions around. Oh my goodness, I look out there. I feel you, Shamira. I'm trying to hold it together. Because it is like when you think about where you started, like coming to UIC, that was not in my life's plan. Like my life was just interrupted with health issues. And I was still in denial about a lot of things. And I was questioning God, like, how did you let these things happen? My kidneys I was in end stages of renal failure. And all through high school, all through things, I pushed my way through a lot of things to get to the point of like, okay, I'm going to college. This is my breakthrough. And so life hit hard. And when I came to UIC, I was just in that place of still like it's shocking and awe. And I am a very introverted person. I love on people, but I'm very particular about who gets close into my circle. And Jarima, I mean, just one of the kindest souls, and just her spirit, like she just illuminates light wherever she goes. And I've had the opportunity of meeting each of you through Jarima, and I see that trend of kindness throughout each of you. So it's just like she's a light, and she attracts and draws light to her, because every person, each one of you that I've met through her, I see that same spirit, that quality of love and kindness. But just sitting there, like she said, it was so strange. It was probably less than 5. No lie, a huge class. And so we bonded, and truly, I call Jarima, that's a divine friendship. And those are the type of friendships that you pray for. Because that is, going back to the original question, what a true friend is, someone who walks with you throughout life and throughout different stages of life. And just through this journey of friendship, just seeing who Jarima is, and just having that sisterhood, because it truly is a sisterhood there. And I've just grown to be continually proud of my sister, and just seeing everything that she's come through, everything that she's pushed her way through. And no matter what is thrown at her, she handles it with class. She handles it with love. She handles it, and even in terms of thinking of how can she continue to encourage and build up other people, regardless of what they may have done to her. Because sometimes now I'm quiet, but every now and again, you know, don't want to jump up, and you can be protective of your friend. But her spirit of, you know, just know you're going to approach everything as purposeful and as a learning opportunity. So this friendship has just been a beautifully divine friendship, and I'm so grateful for being one of few in that sea of salt, the little sprinkles of pepper in that class. So I'm so grateful to God for you and for who you are. So thank you, and I appreciate you, and I love you.
Love you too. So as y'all see, y'all, this is my setup to just love up on y'all. So I'm gonna go to Rita next. And y'all, Rita is the most hilarious person in the world. She is the sweetest person in the world. I mean, Rita is so funny. So when I think about me and Rita, I just think of just nothing. Every time I'm with her, I just do nothing but laugh. And I think the beauty of that is not only are we able to laugh, but we're able to laugh through some pain because we both been through some stuff. And it just feels good to be able to be with someone that you're able to just, like I said, when I talk about it again, just be your uncensored self. You know what I mean? It's been times when we'll both start off with like, okay, now don't judge me when I say this. But this is what I did, or this is what happened, or this is what I'm thinking. And the other person's like, really? Okay, nah, you know what I mean? But what I appreciate about Rita is that she is just such the epitome of loyalty. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing wife. She is not free from correction. What I love about Rita is that life can hit her and she's gonna hit it back harder. You know what I mean? There have definitely been some things that she's went through, and I just see her just become even stronger through it. And I just believe that you're just such an amazing light. Like you are a light to your family. I just see the way you love up on them. You know, even, I mean, I just really, really, really am grateful. Like I was honored to be in her wedding. She was in my wedding. Like we both were pregnant. So this is the funny thing. We were pregnant at the same time. So when she had Jada, I was pregnant with Trey, and I was trying to figure it out. We was both trying to figure it out. But I'm just so grateful that I was even to go through that stage of life with somebody. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what I was doing. And just to, you know, we checking in on each other, reading books, like they supposed to be doing this at 2 months. Is he doing it? No, she ain't doing it, you know. And earlier, like Jada still ain't saying this, and she's supposed to, you know. So I think, and then you just get to a point like they okay, they breathe, and they eat it, they okay, you know. But even with me with my work, I think the other part what I can say about each of you, like Rita has like supported me so much, and each of you, but she's like so supportive of the work I do. Like with Burst into Books, like both her kids are in it. Like she's gonna share it, she's gonna post about it, she's gonna. I mean, I've just been so like blown away just about how so many different parts of my life we can still celebrate together. We started together in the same campus ministry as well. But even with us both not still worshiping at the same church, we still have amazing conversations about who God is and what he, you know, what we went through and what we've learned about really what that means to follow God, not just follow church. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful for our evolution in many ways. And Rita's amazing.
Oh, I love you, Juju. I would joke. Dream is my mini Oprah. Like we have so many Oprah moments. When I call her. And
and I gotta say this, and Rita drive me crazy. I gotta throw this out there. Rita, if you ever get in the car with Rita, though.
Listen, did you die? But did you die? You hear?
Well, did I die? Is the question.
You saved?
Maurice, I know Maurice, like if she get another accident, Rita is, she be out there though. She ain't got no glasses. She ain't got no glasses on. She can't see. She just out there. But
Lord's still working on me, okay? Lord's still
I didn't
working.
have to throw that out there. But go ahead.
Woo! No, the Lord is still working with me as I'm literally holding a speeding ticket in my bag right now, but I'm gonna get it together. Like, okay, the Lord's still working on me, sis. The Lord's still working on me. But as Dream stated, it's true. Dream has been one of my longest friendships, and it's true. Time isn't really of the essence with friendships, but we have gone through every stage together, whether it's marriage, friendship, campus ministry. Oh, I like this boy, you know, pregnancy. And Dream has always been the one to offer words of wisdom. Like I said, I call her my mini Oprah. She always had the perfect things to say. And it's like, why didn't I look at things that way? Or, you know, why didn't I view it that way? She always knew exactly what to say. And she said, just with this verse in the books, I'm so proud of you. You know, from you're a whole brand, seriously. So just your work and your drive to be amazing. Like you are truly an amazing person inside and out. And I'm just blessed to know you, blessed to be your friend, blessed to be your sister.
Okay. I'm going through the list, and then I promise y'all, I know people watch like, this is so beautiful. I'm giving them their flowers, and then we're going to get to the good, juicy stuff. So next I'm going to go to Jadon. So Jadon, I was actually looking back at when we first met. So Jadon, I remember, you know how you meet someone, and I'm like, he is just so dope. Like, it's someone kind of like, man, I want to be her friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's gonna be my friend, but I think she is so cool. You know, and I remember when I first met Jadine, when she, again, it was our connection with our school, and we went on our school, we went on our campus retreat, not campus retreat, our work retreat. And then when we came back, I look back and Jadine had sent me a message, and she asked like if we could get together. And I remember coming to her house, and when I got to her house, we were choosing pretty much like, let's be friends. Like I want us, to be friends. And she just kind of shared with me where she was, and I appreciated that, because what I can also say, similar to I think everybody on here, Jadine don't look like what she's been through. Okay, and I mean that with all sincerity, and I think we all of us have been through some things, and I remember when she was opening up to me, I didn't know, when you don't know somebody, I'm like, wow, like really? I didn't know she had, her children. No, I hadn't met them yet. It was all these things I didn't know. And I was like, wow, she is so dope, and I think just over time, we just became inseparable. Like we just always were together. We would have like similar to Emily, them late night grading paper parties. Like it was just like we were just doing it, but we loved it. We affectionately became Jew Square because we were both Jew, and so she also was my college roomie. We went to Howard together, and she has her Howard sweatshirt on. That's my little inside joke at work. Did y'all go to Chicago State? Yes, but then I also went to Howard. Because that both was our dream school. So even we went, it was so funny. When we went there, we actually have coworkers that graduated from Howard. So we went there on our campus. We was like, oh, remember we went to Eden's Dining Hall? They looked at us like, y'all ain't never been to Howard. But we were taking pictures like we've been.
Destiny just said they went to Howard. No, she just playing.
Yes, we did. We did. I sure did go to Howard, and I got me a sweatshirt. But we had a.
No one is cold.
I know. But I think the thing is that similar to Jadine, like we have been able to really go through some very hard times together and some very beautiful times. And I mean, Jadine is amazing. She's brilliant. She's fun. She's beautiful. She's an amazing mother. I mean, she is out here killing the game. Like I just am just so grateful to have her in my life. And similarly, like I love the fact that even for Trey, he has all these aunts on here. He truly, truly loves him some Jadine. And I'm just grateful to have you on here. And again, I think out of everyone on here, time does not matter because me and Jadine have only known each other for 6 years. But I definitely feel like we grew up on the block together. So I love me some Jew Squared.
Oh, Jude. See, now, Tati, you have started the crying. I only got about 6 lashes holding on, so I cannot crying real hard. Do it.
The lashes was fighting.
Listen, fighting, girl. About 4 on this one and 2 on this one. But seriously, let me say this about you, Jude. So when I think I started Butler, what was that, 2015-ish. And so I was coming out of what I thought was the hardest season in my life. I lost my mom pretty unexpectedly in 2011. And so by 2015, I felt like I was just coming to a place where I had processed that grief and was healing from that. I had no idea, though, that I was actually walking into a season that was, I would probably say 10 times harder than the loss of my very best friend. And that's relevant and important because I didn't know that I would need a friend like Jarima because I didn't know the season that I was walking into. And so Jarima held me, my heart through that process. She was a confidant, someone that I could rely on. She was someone who had similar experiences and I could learn from. And then I will also say just a true testament to who Jarima is as a person, real quick, is like the fact that we joined this call as her village and no one on this call is a complete stranger, which I think is completely illustrative of who Jarima is and how she builds a village that can also be a village to one another. And while I don't know each and every one of you deeply, I know you enough to know that you have to be someone beautiful because of your connection to Jarima. Last thing I'll say, the joke about Howard, child, we done told that lie so much, folks believe it. I believe it, okay? I am a Bison. I graduated from
Just say that she went to school online, not nobody know.
I wore this just for you, Jules. Where we came from.
The cleaners. I couldn't wear it tonight.
We went to grad school at Chicago State. Here's the thing: we actually went to the same university for undergrad and never met. And here we are 20 years later lying about having been roommates. So I love it. I am so, y'all, burst in the books. And I tell Jarima this all the time. 2 years ago this time, burst into books was not even a thing. Do y'all understand how brilliant you must be to take something from nothing in that short amount of time? And Jarima, I've told you this personally, I will say it publicly. I don't know that you always know how bright your own light is because you are seeking and you are naming for other people their light. But sis, you are incredible. And nobody has been able to accomplish what you've been able to accomplish in such a short time. That matters. And I hope you know that. I love you. And I know that we all love you. And I'm just so proud of you, Ju. I really, really am.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to which sister next? Let's go to Zay. I'm gonna go to Zay because she has a similar way we met as just me and Jadon. So I met Zay. I was at UIC. I was actually a freshman, similar campus ministry. I didn't know really nobody, right? I only knew a few folks like that was in the church with us before, and so I don't know if I got Goze's number or we exchanged numbers. And this is a legit true story. I called Goze and was like, hey. And she's like, hey. I'm like, you want to be my friend? And she was like, yeah. And then we've been friends ever since. And like people would joke because like when we were, especially in the beginning of the campaign, they were like, they thought we were like legit blood sisters because we were like inseparable. Like go to her family stuff, go to my family stuff. Even her family, like, you got our features. You may be our family, you know. And I mean, so, like, literally, it was that simple. Like, I legit was like, you want to be friends? She's like, yeah. And I mean, we have been together ever since. And I think that Zay, in many cases, is so like the epitome. I mean, like, she just got, I mean, Goze is dope. And all of y'all probably know this. And the thing that sticks out to me the most is that her love is so deep. Like if she loves you, she loves hard. And I remember when I first had Trey, as many of y'all may know, depending on where we were in our friendship at that time, I suffered from postpartum depression. And it was really, really hard. I had a very difficult not pregnancy, but like delivery with Trey. And like when I got home, I just was kind of out of my wits. And I remember, I don't know if Goze remember this. Goze used to bike, so she didn't drive. She used to just ride her bike all over the city. She lived all the way on like 76 in Prairie. I lived in Alsop. She would ride her bike to my house to watch Trey so I could sleep. She literally coordinated people coming to my house, like, okay, on this day they come to clean. On this day they're gonna be cooking for you. On this day this is happening. I mean, and I legit did not have to lift a finger. She would just call me like, Stephanie will be there tomorrow. BD gonna watch him today. You gonna do? And I was like, oh my god, like I was in a like she's like he gonna fold you. Don't worry, they gonna do your laundry. They gonna and I'm coming over that night. And Zay is just like Emily. She your favorite auntie. She ain't trying to have nobody kid, but she even held Trey for me when I knew she didn't want to do it because she don't rock with babies. And he used to get her good. He spit and boo boo her a million times, but look at her. But they best of friends now. But when he was a baby, she was like, "This is really because I love you, because I do not do babies." But that's what I mean. Like she legit for like a whole month or two coordinated my whole life because I couldn't do it, and that I love. And I think that's what I love about our friendship and I think about all of us, because I think true friendship knows you shouldn't have to tell them that you need them. I feel like you do, you know what I'm saying? I think there's times when it's like, look, I really need you. But I think if you're in tune enough in friendship, it's like sometimes you got to understand where people are at. If you're in a vulnerable space, you don't want to have to say, I feel lonely or I feel helpless. And I think she just sensed it. And I didn't have to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. She was just like, she needs help. Let me help her. You know what I mean? And I think the same thing is true for her. Like, I could look at her like, I'm like, those I need this. I got her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want her to ask. It's just, it is what it is. And so I appreciate that, because I believe that it's unsaid. Like, it just is what it is. And that's it. I am.
Wow, I totally forgot that. So, I did not even remember that even happened. So thank you for that reminder. I do remember us becoming friends, and it was that simple. You were like, "You want to be friends?" I said, "Yep," and never looked back. I think, you are like that family for me, right? And it's interesting because when we were younger, so Jarima and I, we used to look a lot more alike. We had a similar style. We used to wear our hair more the same. And so, the joke was that that we were twins, and Jarima was the nice twin and I was the evil twin, right? And I never really liked that, but I have a very hot, passionate personality, right? So I can be very in your face, and Jarima's way more mellow than I am. And so I really appreciate the people that, who really do know me and understand my heart. And I think with Jarima, I never had to explain who I was. You know what I mean? I never had to try to convince her of my heart, how I felt. We've had a relatively easy relationship. We don't have really any drama in our background in terms of how we engage with each other, because Jarima just accepted me for who I was. So it was easy to want to be there for her, when she was going through stuff. However I could. I mean, I didn't even remember what you were just talking about, but I mean, I'll do that any day of the week. You know what I mean? If there's something that I know I can help you with, I'm doing it. And you've always been that person for me. Right before the pandemic hit, now I work in the service industry. So a lot of people, we didn't know what was happening, but we weren't, business was getting slow. We were running out of money. I was wondering why my checks were looking terrible, and I couldn't, I didn't know what was going on. And then I finally quit my job, and I told Jarima. She didn't say a word. Next thing I knew, there was $200 in my bank account that Jarima put in there. It wasn't oh my God, you quit your job. Can I help? A lot of times people throw, kind of their, can I help? Let me know if you need anything. And it's almost the same as let's do lunch. It's just word. Jarima didn't say nothing. She was like, oh, I didn't know that. And as far as I knew, she went on about her business. But the money was in my account, and I knew what that meant. You don't have to ask. Obviously, if you quit your job, you need a little boost. And so, Jarima couldn't be more family to me if she was my actual blood. And you all, like I think it was maybe it was Jadon saying it, we're all acquainted with each other. I've hugged every single woman in this room. And I'm grateful, I'm grateful to be a part of Jarima's kind of extended family, and to even know the other members of her extended family. And I've had so many pleasant experiences with you all. And like you all have said, that goes back to, we're just reflections of you, Jarima. Every good thing you see about us is a part of you. And that's why you can see it so clearly.
Oh, gosh. It's Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Oh my gosh, Shannon. So Shannon is so funny. Me and Shannon with you so much. I love me some Shannon. I would say what instantly comes with Shannon is just instant joy and light. I mean, she just lights up a room. She lights up. I mean, whenever you are going through something, like, she is that. But I also about Shannon is that she's super, super real. And so whenever I want to really just have authentic, who gonna tell me like it is Shannon. Shannon is also so loving. I think a lot of times people always look at her as the party, but Shannon is definitely the party. But she's also so much wisdom. She's went through so much as well. And I mean, she's an amazing mother. She is so talented. I mean, I don't know if y'all know how talented. I mean, she could sing, she could dance, she could rap, she could act, she does hair, she does makeup, she could cook, she could throw events, like she's hosted events. I mean, she's just so multifaceted, you know what I mean? And like Shannon is someone I've seen over and over again, like recreate herself. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, she used to teach, she's been a cheerleading coach, she's just done everything, and everything she does, though, she does it in excellence. And so what I love about Shannon is that even in this journey of all these things in my life, she's really always been like this big sister to me. Like I love, like we'll joke, like she always called me little sister. I legit, and I take that as a privilege. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I first met Shannon, I was actually in high school. And our initial meeting was
in 8th grade.
I was in 8th grade. I was almost in high school, and and what I remember about Shannon, and I don't know if you remember Shannon, I used to spend night at Shannon's house, and her whole door was covered with Drew Hill. She loved.
Yes.
Yes.
We would be right on in Roseland, so you and Jedi definitely were neighbors in that, and she had her whole house was Drew Hill. And I remember just spending night over there, having so much fun. But the thing I will say about Shannon again, she is a woman who does not look like what she's been through. And what we're about to go through next is just like a speed round of things with different topics. But what I appreciate about Shannon is that, I mean, she is like ride or die. Like when Emily talked about, you know, like if you know, so like she's super protective of me, which I love. There's been plenty of times I'll say stuff and she'll be like, okay, I know what I should say, but I'm gonna give you what the option could be as well. Like you can do this, or I could just call them and snap them off phone. I could just snap for you if you want. You know, I mean, I know you don't want to snap, but I have no problem snapping. You know what I mean?
I definitely come from the try Jesus, not me, because I throw hands.
Yeah.
So it's been plenty of times she'll be like, "Oh, Drew, you're too nice. You're too nice." But that's what I like you. That's what I like you. But I love her. She also pushes me to think differently about like my perspective of things. And so I don't know. I just again, Shannon is more, and all of you are just truly like sisters to me. And so I wanted to make sure that this platform, when Rita asked me initially, like, what's the question? There's really no question. It's really an opportunity for me to be able to just.
No, I got mad anxiety.
Rita, relax, baby.
And then I knew I threw some extra anxiety because I was like, it's gonna be good. And I sent her the emoji with the wink, like you'll be good, you'll be good. But I just really just want an opportunity just to just share love and just say, Shannon is someone as well that from the first time we met to now has truly evolved in who she is. And I feel like we all are still evolving. I think we all are, you know, when it comes to so many different things, we're still growing and learning. And in 20 more years, we're gonna look back at this and be like, man, look at where God is taking us and where we're going. So Shannon, you want to share anything?
I feel like, I mean, hold on, fam. Like my child's trying to get in the car. Okay, hold on for a second. Hold on. I just want to share how dope you are, man. Because I say every time I see Jarima, she has her laptop in hand all the time, falling asleep with it. I'm like, do you ever stop working? But then the next thing I know, she, you know, hey, Mayor Lightfoot blessing her with something, or she on Channel 9 being interviewed, or I'm like, dang. I feel privileged because I was like, my sis dope. And so I feel like I'm celebrating with you as if it's happening to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how hard you work, and I know the behind the scenes of how you know, trying to give to the community and how to spread. It makes me want to give more to kids and stuff like that without opportunity, because sometimes kids can be dismissed. And I'm like, well, that you could just throw them on their parents. You know what I'm saying? But you have such a caring and giving heart. And I just be like, man, if I could just be a little nice like that. Cause I don't feel like I'm very nice in that way. Like, I don't want to, you know, I feel like I am that like you said, I will be like, nah, you not, nah, don't say that. Say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I am. But I feel like in the same token, I learned so much from you on how you talk to people, just your ideas, just on how you go so hard for your business. And I definitely see your work. Your work is definitely not in vain, because I mean, just look how hard, even in the pandemic, even when you were having all the panels and talking to people and getting people engaged, and when they started looting and we were like sweeping up, and just always thinking of a solution on how we can help. And I think that's so dope, because I don't think about that. My thing is, that don't make no sense. That's about as deep as I go. Like, I'm gonna stay from over there, because you know, and she like, let's go help. Oh, okay, we can do that too. Because that was definitely not me. So I'm so grateful to have you as my little sister. I was looking at the panel. I'm like, dang, I think I'm older than everybody on here. But that's okay. All that is experience. You feel me? So I ain't mad at all.
You're looking, so don't worry about it.
I was saying you don't looking at all. Look at
I
it.
definitely feel like it. Thank you. I definitely feel like it. But I'm just blessed to know you and love you and call you my sister, because I don't have any sisters. So, and I like all of you said, I know all of you, and I've met all of you as some sort of, I definitely, Zay, we've been rocking since we were in our 20s. You know what I'm saying? So we 20 plus. Emily, I met you. We went to a couple of poetry jams. You feel me? Jadon, I met you through Jarima. I think we went to 1 or 2 events. Rita, you know I've known you since you were a teenager. And Shamira, you know I know you from when we went to the 300 Black women situation. You know what I'm saying? And I've met you a couple of times when I've come to Burst Into Book. So like Jadon said, you know, to know that I know each and every woman. I don't feel like, who is that? I don't know her. And you know what I'm saying? I know everybody on here. So I'm just so grateful that you guys have been a blessing to my sister. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off what Shannon said, because Shannon, you said something that I just couldn't really get on board with, like trying to paint this picture like you're not a kind person, or you know what I mean, like you're lacking in the caring department, and that's just simply not true. I think you and Jarima just have different ministries, and your reach is just going to be different from Jarima's reach. You have consistently been one of the kindest people I know. And
wow, thank you.
As a person who comes from a lot of trauma around my relationship with my mother, I'm going to be honest, I had an attitude that I'm still working through, where I sometimes can believe that women are just not nice people in general, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's a projection based off of what I grew up with. And Shannon has, from day one, just every single time I'm around Shannon, very kind, very warm, very loving. She's extremely passionate. And I think sometimes people misread people's passion, and they will attach, you know, some sort of negative label on it. But Shannon has always been kind. So the only reason why you can see that in Jarima is because it's you, boo.
Oh, thank you so much, Zay. I love you, sis. Thank you.
So this is gonna be our wrap up. So I know.
Let me say something real quick, because I get the Jose got me. I thought I was ready and put it together. Then here goes Jose. It had the tears flowing again. But what I can say about Jarima is that I just want you continue to be a sponge. Like, she is willing to learn. She's willing to start fresh. She's willing to, you know, start new. Just continue that light that you have, like everybody spoke about, and don't put yourself last. Remember yourself. That's all I'm saying.
She about to cry again.
She got it out just in time.
I missed those tears. I know that's crazy, but I miss them so much. Oh my goodness.
And I don't really know Rita, but I've heard her name. So hey, girl.
Hey, girl. I was doing the same thing. I'm like, I ain't met her yet. Soon.
So I've been closing every podcast with like shout out a sister, but we've been doing that all day. So I want us to end with, and I want you to think about this. What is, in the closing, I think it's so important for us to kind of share this one little nugget. This is what's been on my heart. Love. What is, and look at it. We got on the chat. It's meant to be. What is one lesson you have learned about love? And it could be in whatever context it hits you when I ask that question.
In order to love others, you have to love yourself first.
Mm-hmm. I think love is an action word. So don't just say it, be it. And be the love you want to see. So don't just be like, you don't do this. I need you to be also the love that you want to see.
Right.
And
I'll follow. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll follow that and say, I think love, I used to think that love was something that you had to earn. I think I've learned that it is actually a birthright that we all deserve and that we all have access to, but we can't control for it. You actually just have to let it, you have to be it, to Shannon's point, and when you be it, then it flows from you and to you, and it's not something that you actually have to over hustle for. So that's what I would say.
Unconditional, especially when it's difficult to love, still, I'm going to love you. Although you acting like this or you being a little cray-cray, it's being unconditional no matter what.
I definitely agree that that's what love is. It encompasses everything that you ladies have said. And it's basically seeing people and accepting people for who they are. Like you said, not changing, trying to rearrange. It's not conditional. Love is a pure thing. And just seeing people for who they are and loving them because they exist. That's it.
Yeah. I always think of love as this immortal force that's been here long before we ever got here. It'll be here long after we're gone. I think of love. Love is God, right? God is love. Love is in everything. And if God is inside of us, love is inside of us. So when I think of love, it's everything and it's everywhere. It's in me. And it's, to me, the most powerful force that exists. And so I believe that and, I've seen how in my life love has shown up as something that's really helped me to grow. And sometimes love doesn't feel yummy, but it's still helping me grow. So I've kind of, over the past few years, kind of gotten away from seeing love as this feeling, like Shannon was saying. But I've even gotten to the point where I see it as more than even an action. It's just bigger than anything I could tangibly or use words to explain.
I love it. The reason I ask that is because I just believe that that's the note I want to leave on. I believe that when I truly think about like your tribe defines your vibe, I think that at the foundation of all of my relationships with each of you all is love. And I think that regardless of what happens and will happen and has happened, we always come back to that. And when you come back to love, you're able to work through any troubles. You're able to really understand that sometimes, like you said, it don't always feel yummy. There's been sometimes people have said things to me on here that doesn't feel yummy, but I needed to hear it. You know what I mean? And there's times when I really do need to feel love, you pour it on thick. You know what I mean? And so I just think it's so important that is the foundation of your tribe, the foundation of your relationships. And from that, you're able to go through anything. I think when love is absent, and you're just doing things like, oh, because we both like this, we both do this, like it really doesn't have substance. And so I am grateful for each of you. I love you all so deeply. I hope that you felt the love during this episode. That was my full intent, that we can end and we can embody and share that love. We don't get to see each other readily. I can't wait. So we are able to be in the space. We can have like a whole thing at my house. But I just wanted to make sure that I had this moment, and I wouldn't allow this moment to pass, because you never know. I think the thing that I've learned the most when it's time is not promised. And I want to make sure that in the time I have with the people in my life, they know how I felt about them, and vice versa. So I love you all. Thank you all.
Love
all y'all.
Yes. Love y'all.
Love you. And that's it. See y'all later.
Be well, everybody.
See y'all.